Welcome back to the Wellness Studio podcast. This is Wellness Case Files Part 2 with Octavia Sirius. In Part 1, which was episode 52, you met Octavia and heard the story she's been living inside of, the challenge, the weight, and the patterns that shaped her journey up until now. Today, we move into the turning point. This is the episode where things begin to shift. Not in a clean or perfect way, but in a real human way that healing actually happens. We talk about the moments of awareness, the discomfort of change, and the messy middle that so many people are afraid to admit they're in. If you're listening and you feel like you're standing on the edge of something, knowing things can't stay the same, but unsure of what comes next, this conversation is for you. Let's go deeper with Octavia.
Hello, and welcome back to the Wellness Studio podcast. This is part two of our Wellness Case File series with Octavia Sirius. In our last episode, we uncovered the problem, the pain, pressure, and survival patterns that shaped her early life. Today, we step into the turning point, the awakening, the messy middle, and the moments that began changing everything. Good morning, Octavia.
Good
How have you
morning.
been since our last recording?
Well, pretty well. I took my time to prepare this morning. Like I wanted to feel very grounded in this experience. It is my first podcast ever, so I wanted to enjoy the process to the fullest. So I really slowed down. I did my yoga. I did a meditation, a breathing. Like I really wanted to breathe and feel very grounded in my body. And it feels nice. I feel very calm doing this today.
Good. Well, I think it shows because your last episode too is it was grounded and vulnerable, and I think we're gonna
Yeah.
grow from there. So after sharing such a vulnerable part of your story, what emotions or realizations came up for you?
Mm. Well, the first realization that came up to me is how natural this process is feeling, like doing this podcast, sharing with you. I mean, you're an
Hmm.
amazing like host, to be
Thank
honest.
you.
I feel so comfortable and safe sharing my story in this space, in this format. And yeah, it felt so natural. I didn't feel nervous. I'm a nervous person usually, but
Hmm.
it's very interesting for me, like how easy this is going, and it feels
Yeah.
very aligned. Yeah.
Signs from the universe.
Yes.
Okay, so can you take us to the moment you realized something had to change and that staying in your family home was no longer an option?
Mm. So, like I said in the last episode, it took 2 years of preparation to leave and find like save money and find somewhere to go. But it was starting to feel like I was not gonna do it because
Mm,
every time I was like finding a rent, I was always a part of me was always finding something to not go with it. Like I don't like this place, I don't like the roommate, I don't like where it's
hmm.
going. I need to find the perfect place. I need everything to be perfect. I'm gonna be
Hmm.
on my own for years, so everything I have to like be safe. And then it felt like a loop that I am really like not gonna do it because I was just holding myself back, you know?
Yeah.
And so I realized that around November of last year, so a month before I did it.
Hmm.
And when I realized that, I was like, I have to stop. I have to do it. I have to do it, even if you're
Hmm.
afraid. So I had a talk with myself, and I was like, you need to do it. And that part of me was like, I can't. I really can't. I don't, I'm afraid. I can't do
Hmm.
it. And so realizing that part of me was feeling this way, I tried to help her feel safe. And nothing worked from my part. And then,
Hmm.
like my spiritual team, seeing this, that that part of me was not going to move. And
Mm-hmm.
so they send me signs so that part of me, the subconscious part, could see those signs and believe it, that it was going to be okay. And one of the signs that I'm going to share with you is,
Mm-hmm.
well, it was maybe 3 weeks before I left. I was walking in the park and it was beautiful. Like I was calm, I was in a meditative state. And then I
Mm-hmm.
asked God, please send me a sign that everything is going to be okay if I make this move. I ask and let it go. So I'm continuing to walking, and then
Mm-hmm.
I saw on a tree the number 24.
Mm.
Yeah, and then I was like 24, 24. I, I don't know, like I didn't grasp
Yeah.
it in the moment, but my subconscious did.
Yeah.
Okay, so my subconscious knew that it was the date, but I didn't
Oh.
understand because I didn't
Mm-hmm.
ask like what date I'm gonna go. I asked
Mm-hmm.
what sign,
Yep.
and then after I did it, and then there was a lot of other signs that I'm gonna share after,
Mm.
but it was maybe 3 months, 4 months after I left, and then I looked back in my phone at the pictures of the day I left, and then I'm like,
Mm.
oh my God, it's the 24th, it's the
Yeah.
24th, and it was crazy to see that
Yeah.
that sign, and thankfully, like my subconscious mind understood it,
Mm.
but it was very crazy to think about it after you leave and then you see that
Yeah.
you remember those signs and wow. So yeah,
Yes.
it was that moment I realized subconsciously that I need to leave on that date. So yeah, and the universe was pushing me like do it. Like there was signs
Mm-hmm.
like the whole month of December there was crazy signs. So yeah, I think it was me realizing those signs and that it was time. I was ready to do it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Mhm.
love looking back at the signs and then seeing all the synchronicities line up. I had another question though, of like when it was those 2 years, what was it like for you in the house? Like, did you have to keep
Mm.
everything secretive? Like, what were the dynamics like at that time?
Yeah, so another reason why I wanted to leave was something happened with my father like 2 years before I left.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a big argument. Um, like he always like my father is someone very narcissistic and
Mm.
he manipulates people through emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very hard talking about him. Like
Yeah,
he's the,
I
I
can
would say,
imagine.
yeah. I, I knew it. Like you remember yesterday, I told you like, wow, I'm surprised I didn't cry. It
Mm-hmm.
was because like there is this trigger with my father that is the biggest trigger of my
Yeah.
life. And always like I always cannot talk about him without like feeling emotional or crying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, I would say he's the biggest disappointment of my life. Like I always felt so disappointed that I
Mm-hmm.
had a father that like this. I wished he could have done better with me and my brothers and my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we had a big argument. He did something. Um, so he was pushing me to find a job. So I finished my studies
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't want to work like somewhere I didn't want to feel like I didn't feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And my father like always tries to push his decisions on me, like decide for me. So
Yeah.
he came home and he's like, I found you a job.
Oh,
So
yeah.
without telling me, like he asked for a friend, like a lot of friends, like if someone had a position, and he came home and he's like, I found you a job. And so that was very triggering for me, like
Mm-hmm.
especially being controlled, feeling
Yeah.
very controlled. Yeah. So we had a big argument that ended up in me feeling very angry, breaking things. I remember
Mm-hmm.
having a flower pot in my room, and because he didn't want to leave me alone, because he was like,
Mm-hmm.
"You're doing it, I don't care." So I threw it on the floor, and then my brother came in and saved, like separated us. Like he told him,
Mm-hmm.
leave the room, leave her alone. So because of the argument, I didn't talk to him for 2 years.
Mm.
I was isolating myself. I was not eating with my family. I was eating in my
Mm-hmm.
room. I was not talking to them. Like it was like only but small things, like I don't know, food or small things, like nothing personal.
Yeah.
Like no one
Running the
was knowing.
household.
Yeah, no one was knowing like about my business, what I was doing. I would leave the home, like go to the park. No one knows where I am.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still like surprised how I was left alone, because I don't know, like they could have like I don't know, it could have been different, but I think it was
Mm-hmm.
my divine support that was helping me in that moment. Because I remember
Mm-hmm.
when he left the room and he said, "This door is not gonna be closed anymore." I
Mm.
remember, yeah, I felt so afraid in that moment, and he left the room like open, and then I was sitting and crying, and then I asked like, please, like to my divine team, please help.
Mm-hmm.
I can't, I don't know how what to do. So this is the moment when my brother came in and he was like, "Can I help you?" He never does that. He never like asked me for help. And then I knew
Mm.
it was my spiritual team like uh, helping me. So he helped with the like cleaning, and then he closed the door, thankfully. And he went to my father and he's like, "Don't go there. Like don't
Mm-hmm.
talk to her anymore." My brother would have never done that. So I knew it was my spiritual team helping me. I don't know how
Yeah.
they do that, like through my family, or how they do
They
that, but
nudged him. They nudged him
yeah,
somehow.
they know him. So it was very like uh, scary, chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
Those 2 years, very emotional. I remember like, eating in my room all by myself and planning this all by
Mm-hmm.
myself. Nobody was aware what I was doing. I was trying to play it cool so they don't like get signs that I'm leaving. I
Yeah.
knew that I knew they know that I was leaving, because I
Mm-hmm.
remember one time my mother was calling me and I didn't reply.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can hear them like whisper, and she's like, "What if she's not there?" I'm like,
Yeah.
they know, they know, they know.
Uh-huh.
And so, yeah, after I left, I know that they were aware that I'm not gonna stay, and that I feel like happy they let me go, and yeah, but it was very, very traumatic, especially
Yeah.
those 2 years. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I can't even imagine.
no,
Um,
it was the most difficult like time of my life.
yeah. What was the very first inner shift or breakthrough that showed you a different life was possible? Like while you're sitting there those 2 years.
Hmm. So I would say the first thing that gave me hope is accessing my Akashic records.
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was the biggest like turning point in my whole
Yeah.
awakening. So I was not aware. I never heard of Akashic records in my whole entire life. I didn't
Yeah.
know I was accessing them. So it just happened randomly.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember one day, um, I started having these flashbacks. Like I was napping, and I was a little bit feeling like a little bit sick. I had a fever, and I knew it was because of that. I felt like I was having a download.
Yeah.
And then when I was trying to nap, I'm having these flashbacks about me like having like ginger head,
Mm-hmm.
ginger head, like blue eyes, and like a bluish skin and riding like a blue flying lion,
Mm-hmm.
and there was like this rainbow sea, like a lot of colors, and these gigantic trees,
Mm-hmm.
like blue colored trees, and it was crazy to remember having these flashbacks about my life on Sirius.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had this also past lives coming up from Earth, like my
Mm-hmm.
some past lives, like my last past life before this one, like a lot of flashbacks. And then I was starting to access like future timelines, which was
Interesting.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked very different, and I could see like my work, like what I was doing, like my purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I was not living here. I saw like a lot of changes in the world, and also my partner, um, who I'm gonna be with. So accessing these timelines made me feel very happy. Like, gave me hope. Like it was like my future self sending me signs, sending me hope. Like
Mm-hmm.
have faith, and also like I know like the future actions I need to take to
Mm-hmm.
access this timeline. So it was very helpful, I would say, to access my Akashic records. Like
Yeah.
it saves you time. You know exactly what you need to do. You know exactly
Yeah.
what your purpose is about. So this was like, imagine being in a tiny room, very dark place, you're
Mm-hmm.
having a plate, you're eating by yourself, no hope, nobody to talk to, and then you're accessing such a beautiful timeline. It was my light, it was the only
Mm-hmm.
light that kept me going in that moment.
I love that. Yeah, the Akashic Records
Mhm.
too did a lot for me. I don't even remember when they popped up, but I came home to my husband and was like, I heard of Akashic Records and I need to learn everything about it. And I just went off
Yeah,
the deep end with it. And yeah, I haven't tapped into like future timelines, but time doesn't exist anyways. It's just all there.
everywhere.
So you could access
Yes.
it.
So it's happening at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I heard someone, like an Akashic record reader, that said you access them when you're ready.
Yep, it comes to your field when you're ready.
It's so interesting
Mm-hmm.
that they show up when you're ready for them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's see here. I think you talked about it a little bit yesterday about the masculine energy that came to support you, because it's
Mhm.
what I want to ask is who or what supported you during that time when you're in your room by yourself. Um,
Uh-huh.
I don't think it was
So
a
yeah,
person. I feel like it was your spirit guide, and were
yeah,
there
yeah, yeah.
others?
So I was very isolated, and I always asked like why, and it was because I was so like in such a people pleasing phase, because growing
Mm-hmm.
up in such a household, you people please, like you go
Yeah.
outside and the same dynamic, you people please,
Mm-hmm.
you hold your emotions back. Like none of my friendships worked, none of my relationships worked because of the trauma that I had. And
Yeah.
so I had to be like put in a cocoon in a dark, very dark place, dark room,
Mm-hmm.
so that everything will be stripped away. And the only support that I could have, it was my spiritual team and my divine masculine. We call him Alexander here.
Okay.
So yeah, okay. So yeah, it was only them like supporting me, healing me. So I don't know if you ever went through like a very like isolation time in your life.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, I
did.
did.
A lot of people go through that, like in their
Mm-hmm.
spiritual awakening or dark night of the soul. Like it's a very important stage
Yeah.
because, well, first you're very sensitive to energies. You no
Mm-hmm.
longer can be. with people and not be triggered.
Yeah.
And it's very like it's a lot. It's not even like one trigger. Like it's like everything they say, everything they do triggers you. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you need to be by yourself to work on those triggers. And I was very, I felt very lucky that I was working with these triggers with a divine presence that
Yeah.
couldn't be hurt or couldn't be like, how can I say, triggered back by
Yeah.
my triggers. Yeah. So it was very nice to have like a mature presence that could
Mm-hmm.
handle because it was a safe container, like a person that is very patient, very mature. Like the sole purpose of this divine presence is to heal you. So whatever you say, whatever you do, like it's just seeing you and seeing the trigger. It's not like associating you with the trigger, like a normal person would, you know.
Yeah.
And I would say the second thing that supported me, I would say, was astrology.
Mm-hmm.
But astrology played a very big part in my awakening, understanding that like my spiritual awakening was because of certain astrological transits.
Mm-hmm.
So transits are like astrological events that are happening right now
Mm-hmm.
in opposition to, for example, your birth chart when it was just like a photograph of this, like imagine the sky, the planets, that it was at that date you were born,
Mm-hmm.
the hour and the location.
Mm-hmm.
So transits are more like the energy that is playing right
Mm-hmm.
now at this exact minute. What is happening in your life?
So I have a
So,
question then. When you were
mhm.
going through all of this, was it return to Saturn time for you?
No, I did
No,
not
okay.
have, yeah, I did not have my Saturn return yet. It's gonna be
Oh,
in 2027.
so it's coming.
Yeah, it's
Oh
coming. I'm really
gosh.
excited. I'm excited, but I'm an astrologer, so I know.
Yeah.
I am, and also I'm a Capricorn rising. So Saturn is the
Okay.
ruler of
Me
my
too.
chart.
Mm-hmm.
It's the ruler. Like I work with Saturn. I respect him, but it's a very difficult planet to work with. With Saturn, it's like discipline.
Yeah.
Do what you need to do. In opposition to Jupiter, Jupiter is like, you don't need to do anything. I got you. Like it's
Yeah.
like a random luck. Like if you compare a Jupiter person, like someone that has a lot of Jupiter energy in their chart,
Mm-hmm.
they have sudden luck. They never had to work for money. Like it's very
Mm-hmm.
easy for them to attract things. But
Mm-hmm.
a Saturn person, they have to work for things. They have to be
Yeah.
disciplined. They have to earn it. But they are highly rewarded for that. So the
Mm-hmm.
more I work with Saturn, the more I receive blessings.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's different energies. So it was not my Saturn return, but
Interesting.
when I had my spiritual awakening, I had
Mm-hmm.
a lot of transits in my 12th house.
Mm-hmm.
So the 12th house, there's 12th house, okay? And the last
Mm-hmm.
one is the house of spirituality, past lives,
Mm-hmm.
spiritual awakening. So when you have transits in your 12th house, this is most of the time when you experience a massive spiritual awakening.
So that's where you
And
were at?
yes,
Okay.
and you feel cocooned, you feel isolated. It's also the house of isolation and
Now I'm
um,
wondering if I had that and Saturn return at the same time. I have to
oh,
look.
I would love to answer that later.
Oh,
Give
yeah,
me,
because I feel
give me
like
your
those might
cards.
have been at the same time.
Yeah, maybe. So, um,
Uh,
so yeah, I would say astrology and my divine spirituality. Those two, like, were my biggest support system
yeah.
at the time. Yeah.
And that's so good. And I think what I want our listeners to know is that when you feel alone, like you never are alone. We might be alone
No,
in like a 3D sense, like we don't have a person sitting next to us, but we always have our spirit team all around us.
yes, always.
Yeah. And we can decide to lean into it or not. And I'm happy that you
Hmm.
decided to lean into it.
That's the thing. I could have just ignored everything.
Yep.
I mean, I was a girl that was raised in a Muslim family and I had a spiritual awakening, and from one day to another, I started seeing things. I remember like just waking up a random day and I saw my deceased grandmother,
Hmm.
and I was like, what is going on? So she came to me, and then my grandfather that died as well came to me,
Hmm.
and they started having conversations with me. I started seeing things like energies. It was very, I would say, scary for someone that never experienced that. So it was very hard to just accept it. But yeah, I mean, you choose that. Like part of your brain is like, what is going on?
Yeah.
But like your soul knows. So you have, but you have this contradiction. I'm sure a lot of people feel this, like what is going on, but also I'm curious about it.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah. All right. So after you made the decision to leave and you chose your path, what did the middle space look like for you emotionally and practically? So like when you finally got to a new place, what was that like?
Mhm. Mm, I would say, like after I left, like when I was in my new place, like how did that felt for me?
Yeah.
Okay. So it was a very big shift, but also it felt like I never left. Like
Mm.
part of my brain was like, there is no way this is true. So because it was like I took a long time to do that, and my brain partly believed that this is like how it's always gonna be. So when I left, it was like in denial for the first months, like big
Mm.
denial. I remember like talking to my brain. It's like you're lying to yourself. You know, you're meditating right now. You are still in your room.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
Doesn't believe anything she's like my brain is seeing.
Hmm.
Literally, part of me was at this of believing it. Like I was like,
Hmm.
what if I'm really like astral traveling right now? What
Mm.
if I wake up and it's just a dream? Like that
Yeah.
was so shocking to finally be free.
Hmm.
So the first month, complete denial. The second month and third month, my brain obviously was starting to like trying to sabotage this. So
Hmm.
attracting everyone or anything that would remind me of that environment.
Yep.
Yeah, so triggered like people reminding me of my mom, my dad, uh, things happening, the same thing that was happening in my like my that environment. So yeah, it was very like a lot of shifts in the 3D, but it was chaotic because
Yeah.
the brain doesn't feel safe. It's a new
Hmm.
environment. So I was like, what? So I was trying to cope with everything, and I I am thankful that I left after doing a lot of work on myself, because I know if I didn't do any work on myself and then I just left without
Hmm.
preparation, without being mature enough, spiritually talking, I know that I would have never been able to like create what I've created this year. There is
Yeah.
no way. There is no way. I know that I would have been. maybe too immature, not
Mm-hmm.
understanding the cycle. So I think it was very important that my spiritual team helps me heal before I even considered doing this. And also, I think I left at the exact perfect time when I was ready
Mm-hmm.
for it. Yeah, I was ready. I knew I was ready. I felt it. I
Yeah.
felt the shift, you know. So it was very, I wouldn't say easy, but because I was aware enough, it was easy to see those events for what it was,
Yeah.
and work within me instead of trying to work outside of me to change these things.
Mm-hmm.
And so working within me fixed those events without me even doing anything. So
Yeah.
what I do now, because I'm aware of that, when something happens, I don't react
Mm-hmm.
right away. I don't react right away. I don't try to fix it.
Yeah.
I either work, do a meditation or affirmation or try to change my state. And
Mm-hmm.
it's so magical, like how I come back to the 3D, to that event, and it's a complete different event, like it didn't happen, you know like a
Mm-hmm.
different a different reaction from a person or a different outcome. Like, it's very magical to see this, like you're really really the creator of your reality. It's so
Yeah.
scary to the point, like you
Yeah.
can literally change anything, but also create a lot of very tricky events. But because you're aware of your power, you know that you can undo that at any time.
I think
So,
that you summed up like what a spiritual awakening is in a nutshell, but a lot of people miss and don't articulate is that like you were
mhm.
spiritually ready for the change, even though your brain wasn't, and that
Yes.
your spirituality and your subconscious were able to hold you through something that would
Hmm.
normally be something very difficult and still was difficult, but the spirituality like held you through it.
Yes.
And that's like
I think
coming to the end of a full circle of a spiritual awakening.
mm, that's beautiful. You
I
you
think
worded
that,
it in a very beautiful way. That's exactly what, yeah, that's exactly what happened.
well, the way you explained it, I liked it so much because you always people hear, oh, I went through spiritual awakening, but they don't really like the way you explained it, really explain like what it was like to go through it. And I
hmm
think that that's a missed a lot. And that's why I wanted to do this particular series because we really slow down and we break it apart to make it more
Yeah.
understandable.
hmm
And I think you
So,
hit it.
thank you.
Hmm.
Although it was very messy, I have to say, like, I know that it sounds it sounds like I had it all figured out. No, I did not. Like, it took a lot of work,
Yeah.
because just imagine like a very terrified little girl in an adult body, living
Hmm.
like for the first time and having to figure out life, because I've never before that, like before leaving, I've never paid bills, I've
Yeah.
never lived by myself, I've
Yeah.
never did groceries by myself. Like I was literally like a little girl that was introduced to adulthood, you know?
Hmm.
And so I had to figure everything out, like especially the financial part of it.
Hmm.
So yeah, I had some money saved, but I had to really figure out an income, a monthly income to,
Yeah.
take care of myself. So I really had to be smart. I really had to be, clever, like really do something, like especially about my money. And
Hmm.
so juggling between the 3D part of it and the spiritual part of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was not easy to balance these two aspects, like because we live in a
Hmm.
city world, I need to eat, I need to, pay bills.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had to, figure these things out. So, and the second thing is to also work on my spirituality. And
Yeah.
honestly, working on my spirituality is what helped me figure the 3D part of it,
Yeah.
which is very weird because you're like, oh, if I just like work on money, I then I can rest and heal myself. And I am here to tell you, no, you heal
Mm-hmm.
yourself, you heal your
Yep.
blocks, and then you can, manifest.
Access the money.
It's access the money, access the 3D, like access
Mm-hmm.
the good stuff. And it's very interesting because normally you wouldn't think that. I don't know how, like, what was your experience with these two aspects in your life?
It's more of the other way, like you're explaining, like I had regular life where do all of these things first, and once I get those things done, then I can move on to the
Wow.
spiritual. So I had more of that, but with being in America, like it is so much pushed on you to go to college, get a job, like you
Mm-hmm.
have to do these steps. And my dad was very strict on those things and made sure I did
Mm-hmm.
those things. And by the time I was 29, I had already had a doctorate in education. And like I've done
Wow.
all the education I could possibly do. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing more I could do to make myself smarter on paper or and I had a job. I started teaching at 21 years old. So like a lot of people don't start that young. I'd already been teaching for like 12 years. So it was like then I was like, I need to do something for me, which was
Mm-hmm.
leaning into that spiritual side.
Wow. I think, yeah, obviously everyone's journey is different. So it's very interesting you
Hmm.
had the reversed,
Hmm.
situation for you.
Yeah,
I
my whole
think,
life I heard it calling. My whole life I did, but I would suppress.
mhm,
And
yeah.
hmm
So I think it depends on your soul's needs. I think my
hmm
soul needed that spiritual boot camp. It was
Yeah.
really a boot camp because I know from like what I saw from past lives, I always gave more importance to 3D life
Hmm.
and did not do my spiritual work. Like in
Hmm.
many lifetimes, I had the money, I had the big things, the career, but I at the end I was always miserable. I was
Hmm.
always not happy, not fulfilled. And I think in this lifetime, it's like you have none of that until
Yep.
until you do your work. Okay,
Yeah.
you're gonna be in a small country in a Muslim where you can't even like have access to alcohol, drugs, nothing.
Hmm.
Even like relationships are very like low key, not like a taboo thing here. So you
Hmm.
have nothing to excuse yourself.
To
Okay,
do the
you have to
work.
do the work. I'm happy. I was forced into that
Yeah.
because yeah, like I said, I was like your experience. I was pushing it away until I
Hmm.
had no choice but to do it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, what kept you moving forward when it would have been easier to maybe stay small or go back?
Hmm. I would say my inner child. You know,
Your inner child.
yeah, my inner child. Like because I promised to her that nobody will ever hurt her, and I would stay silent about it. And I
Hmm.
wanted a better life for her. I wanted a life where she can just run free and be happy, like a happy home when there is no arguing and yelling and when she's not anxious and hiding in a room. I wanted her to be free and happy. And you have no idea how just a home is so healing. Like I'm saying, like your own place
Hmm.
is so healing. Like living by yourself after like abuse, like if you were in an abusive home, like having your own little space is so healing. Like I remember
Hmm.
like I even have the video, like crying so much when I first got my place, my
Hmm.
for myself. It was so healing. I don't know what it was, but it was just I remember having this big emotional release and also feeling
Yeah.
so grateful that I knew that I would never have to like be isolated in a room and waiting for everyone to be like asleep or whatever to sneak into the kitchen and get my plate and just run. Like I was felt so scared and you
Mm-hmm.
know. So now like it's like I can cook whenever I want. I can go out whenever I want. Nobody
Mm-hmm.
is restricting me or telling me what to do. So yeah, um, it was for her.
That's
Like,
amazing.
yeah, I was responsible of this little girl, and I'm gonna make sure that she has everything she never had.
Yeah. Good motivation.
Yeah. Oh, you have no idea. You have no idea what you can achieve when you see your inner child like sad or you have kids. You know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, you're a mom. Like if someone like comes into your kids, they dead. I'm sure they dead.
So getting back to at the beginning, you were talking about lots of signs. So did you experience synchronicity, signs, or moments that felt like spiritual confirmation you were on the right path?
Hmm. I want to say that this podcast is a sign. Yeah,
Thank you.
this podcast is a sign. I'm sure it
Yeah.
is. It is. Like this podcast is a very good example of everything I've been working on. And, this past year, like, yeah, I was looking for opportunities to grow my business. So, yeah, it feels
Mm-hmm.
like a very good reward for the work that I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, oh yeah, there is this sign, and I would say it's the biggest, most beautiful sign I've ever experienced in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So it was the night that I was leaving. So I packed all my stuff, and can you imagine, like, oh my God, I still like remember that day. Like I packed everything, and I was trying to be perfect so nobody would suspect because
Mm-hmm.
if they suspect anything, like it's gone. Like there was no way I would leave ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was trying to play great, like smile, like there is no sign that I was unhappy or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Then I packed everything. I waited for everyone to sleep, and then I wanted to record myself. It was such like an important moment that I wanted to remember.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I was recording myself, and I was not like as emotional as I wanted. Like I expected myself, but it came after. It was not
Yeah.
that night, but when like the night after, when I finally like left, I remember everything, like crying at night, like it was big emotions. And then I remembered that I wrote a letter to Santa.
Mm-hmm.
So a year before the 24th, the same day. So I wrote a letter to Santa. I did this like Christmas thing because my inner child loves Christmas. She always
Mm-hmm.
loved it so much. So we did like this Christmas thing, like I decorated my room and
Mm-hmm.
decided to write a letter to Santa to keep her like having faith, in
Yeah.
miracles and yeah.
Yeah.
So I write this letter and I sealed it and I decided to not open it until the next Christmas, which
Mm.
was the day that I was, the night that I was leaving.
Mm.
So I remember that letter and I was like, you know what? Let's read it. It's
Yeah.
perfect. So I open it, I read it, like it's beautiful, like a lot of hope, like please Santa, this is what I want, this is what I wish
Wow.
for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would love to share this video with you if you want, like
Yeah.
later. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit, it's not very long, but it's like a whole letter. So I read it, and there's this line at the end. I read it, and it's like, Santa, please, as a sign that all my dreams are gonna come true and everything is gonna be okay. makes me see ladybugs.
Mm,
And
yeah.
I wrote that like a year later, and I didn't open that letter at all.
Mm-hmm.
I stopped. Like I was in shock because a week before reading this letter, I remember being in the park and I saw these beautiful ladybugs, and we never
Mm-hmm.
see them. It was not even the season, it was December. And I was so
Mm-hmm.
happy. I was like, oh my God, ladybugs. And I filmed them, not knowing at all and not remembering the letter. And
Mm-hmm.
then reading the letter a week later, oh my God, like it was such a beautiful sign, like a miracle, like a
Yeah,
Christmas miracle, that everything's gonna be okay. And I felt such a relief leaving the next morning because I knew because of this sign that everything is going to be okay. And yeah, a year later, after reading that letter, all my dreams came true.
that's
Everything.
amazing.
Yeah, that was so beautiful. I love this
I'm
kind of synchronistic moments. It's always beautiful.
I'm happy you brought up like the magic of Santa Claus because I've been thinking lately about my kids and how
Hmm.
I want to teach them about it, and that's like exactly it. It's
Yeah, I
about
mean,
manifesting and affirmations, and it's all
mhm.
of those things with the power of Santa Claus.
Yeah, I see him like, I don't know, a divine, because like our collective manifestation creates these things, and because we believe in
Hmm.
Santa, he does exist in a way, like in the as an energy.
Yeah, I would
And
say energetically.
it's a very benevolent energy that really loves kids and wants them to be happy and wants them
Hmm.
to have what they want, like their manifestation. So I wanted to use not I would say use that as a manifestation tool. um I don't know. I just love Santa. I don't know why, but when I think about
Me
him, my
too.
heart chakra, like really, like is full of love, and I think
Yeah,
it's a very good energy. And
yeah.
yeah, I felt like he was replying to me, even if he's not a physical person. As an energy,
Energetically. Hmm.
energetically, he answered my prayer. So
Yeah,
I love
I love
him.
that. I
I love
love
him
that.
so
It's so
much. Thank
beautiful. And then Santa never went away in my house and growing up. Like as an
you.
adult, my grandma would always sign my presents, a certain one, not all of them. And she'd be like, and this one is from Santa.
Aw,
Because
that's
like
so nice.
I don't think that ever went away with my family. It's
Wow.
still there.
Yeah, I really wonder what it feels like to grow up with this belief. Because, the Muslim culture, I don't think we have a Santa Claus, but they teach you, that God, like if you pray, he will grant you that. And I see a lot of Muslim people manifesting that way because they have this
Hmm.
belief that God, yes, they
We'll
teach you that
answer.
God grants you whatever you want as long as it's a good thing.
Hmm.
I mean, uh, Islam is not like, there is like some good things about it, and
Hmm.
there is like things that were taken out of context that led to a lot of destruction and like a lot of pain to the soul.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting, but I always wondered how it feels like to grow up in a Christian like like household or community, um, and grew up with the belief of Santa, and because I think Christianity is a little bit more easygoing than Islam, to be
Mm.
honest. It's there is.
Depends. I think it's the same thing. It depends where you're practicing that Christianity and
Mm,
how organized the church is
mm.
or is not, because there's a bunch of different branches of Christianity.
Oh my
And
God,
I
yeah.
I don't have
Yeah.
them all straight in my head, but I had an ex-husband and they were a specific
Oh.
type. And like so it just depends on which type of Christianity you are. Some are very like you're thinking of non-denominational Christianity where it's very open, it's very free, it's
Mm.
very accepting, which is more of the type of Christianity I like is non-denominational. But
Yeah.
there's other Christianities that it can get very stringent and it's like things getting
Oh,
taken out of context again and it
yeah, it's always like,
becoming,
yeah, it's the same
hmm
thing.
yeah,
My only like, I don't know, my only knowledge of Christianity is the movies. So
which
it's
is
very
gonna
like,
be, it's gonna be
yeah,
your
it's very
light,
like
happy.
lovey dovey, like, but yeah, but also like, some people on the internet, um, I love to see like different religions, like Buddhism. Like
Me too.
I believe that everyone is free to choose whatever they believe in if they feel like this is what their heart is calling in, as long as it's not something you choose because you're forced or because your family was raised a certain way. Um, as long as you believe in this, this is your right to choose this and it makes you happy. So when I've never been like, oh, or all religions are bad and like Christians are bad, whatever. Like when I see a Christian person, I actually love their videos. I watch them sometimes. They really, as long as they spread love, and I love how they raise their kids. Like
Hmm.
God loves you. Like this beautiful affirmations that there is a divine presence that
Hmm.
um, loves you. And then those kids are going to grow up and it's their choice to choose their own path. So, um, but as a kid, it's very important to have this, knowledge that there is a divine presence loving you. It's very
Yeah,
important.
yeah,
Yeah. Hmm.
I agree. That was all really great. I think we covered so much of everything in the middle for you, of everything that you went through. In the story that we're telling right now, you're not fully on the other side yet, but how would you describe where you were at the beginning compared to where you were after the messy middle?
Mm. Yeah, messy is the right word. Yeah, I felt messy. I felt like in the beginning, I felt yeah, a lot of triggered, like out of play. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what's next. Like I remember a week after leaving, I found this place, this small place, and I had a roommate that was not really good. She
Mm,
reminded me of my mom, obviously. Of
mm,
course, I would attract that. I remember sitting in a bench and crying because I didn't know what to do. I didn't have a job.
mm-hmm,
I felt I felt like a kid,
mm-hmm,
I, that's how I felt. Like my inner child was really like uh showing in that moment how she felt so afraid. And then a year after, I feel like a woman. I really feel like a
nice.
woman. Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like an adult that pays bills, that has money in their bank account, that
Yeah,
does groceries, and yeah, a woman. Like
nice.
entering womanhood, it's nice, especially if it's done well.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really happy that I did the work on myself to feel as a woman
Yeah. Do
because
you think
uh,
that would have come had you stayed, or what do you think would have happened? Or what like maybe traditionally happens?
like if I stayed in my family home,
Yeah. Do you think you would have gotten to experience coming into womanhood
no,
the way that you
no.
have?
My my brothers still live with my parents.
Oh, okay.
My brother is married and have a kid and still lives with
Oh,
my family. There
uh-huh.
is, yeah, that's the thing about Islam, like Islamic families, like they are very dependent. You
Mm,
know, Islam creates this dependency on your parents, and you never really leave the household. You never
mm,
experience anything else, especially for a
mm-hmm.
woman. I mean,
Yeah.
like a man can like leave whenever they want. They can travel. They can live by themselves. But a woman, like women in my country and in this cultural background, they never leave. And for example, if a woman never marries, she never leaves the house. She stayed
Mm-hmm.
there. You know,
Yeah.
that's I don't think I would have never been like an independent woman, the independent woman that I am right now, if I didn't make this move. I would have
Yeah.
been I was I was still dependent on my family, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And um yeah, like right now it's like a different person, a different identity.
Yeah.
And I'm still working on growing this identity to the point where it feels like I never had or never lived in that household. I know it's a little
Mm.
bit like a little bit difficult to erase everything, the limiting beliefs, the trauma, but there is going to be a point where
Yeah.
all of that is going to be erased, and it's going to be like a blank slate or a blank
Yeah.
page, and it's going to feel like all this routine that I'm doing, all this reprogramming that I'm doing, it's going to feel like I had the perfect childhood. I've never
Mm-hmm.
experienced anything traumatizing. I had a perfect, like loving parent, which is
Mm-hmm.
working with my divine parents, like
Mm-hmm.
the like the energies that birthed my soul.
Yeah.
That's what I'm working with, like having divine parents that always loved me. So
Mm-hmm.
believing this and erasing the lies that I was abandoned by my true parents, which was
Mm-hmm.
the case, because we were separated. So, yeah, I think I can reach that point, you know.
Yeah. That kind of gets into my
Um,
next question of what is the biggest
mhm.
lesson or truth you're carrying with you into the next chapter of your life and business?
Hmm. Okay. Mm, I think I did some mistakes in the beginning when I left, which was opening myself too quickly to people, especially
Mm.
people that I did not um, see if they were trustworthy, if they
Yeah.
deserve my trust. So I told some people about my situation, and I did not receive a great, I would say, response. Some
Mm-hmm.
people even like betrayed my trust and were telling other people about it, which felt
Mm-hmm.
like a big betrayal for me.
Yeah.
Or if I told someone, they would look at me differently,
Mm.
because here
I
it's like,
know that feeling.
yeah, they would look
Uh,
at you differently, especially
mm-hmm.
here. It's like a woman that left home, it's your fault. You did something
Mm-hmm.
wrong. You probably, I don't know, you did something wrong, or your father found you with a man or something like that. So you
Mm-hmm.
didn't leave. There is no such notion of you
Mm.
left because you were abused, or you left because you wanted to be independent. There
Yeah.
is
It's
nothing like
because you
this.
did something wrong.
Something wrong, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember telling someone, and then they looked at me differently. Literally on the phone, that person said, "What did you do?"
Mm.
Yeah. So
You're like nothing.
yeah, I mean,
Uh,
I tried to explain.
survived.
I was
Uh-huh.
like over explaining myself. Like, no, they were abusive. No one believes you. That's the thing. It's like
Yeah.
abuse in this part of the word is like, "Oh, that's normal. That's everyone how we were raised. My
Mm.
grandmother, my grandparents, my parents, everyone went through the same abuse. So it's like a loop that is
Yep.
accepted. Literally, my grandmother was married at 12. Can you imagine?
No.
She had, yeah, she had 15 kids.
Wow.
Yeah, her husband was how old? 17. They were marrying so young back then. And she never went to school. She never
Mm-hmm.
learned to read. She never learned to, like she knows only her like maternal language. Um, and my mother as well. Like she abandoned her dreams for my father to get married.
Mm-hmm.
She actually wanted to be a like an international basketball player. She was really
Oh,
good.
wow.
She
Mm-hmm.
was in a team, she was traveling, and then came the moment when she needed to marry. She was 24, I think, or 23, 24. It's like this is the
Mm-hmm.
time, family
Mm-hmm.
pressure, you need to get married. So she abandoned her dreams to get
Yeah.
married to my father. I am the first person in my lineage to ever break free from these toxic cycles, to not
Yeah.
get married young, to not abandon myself or my dreams for, I don't know, marriage or men.
Mm-hmm.
So I am the first person in my lineage to ever do something like a business,
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah.
everyone in my lineage worked a 9 to 5.
Yes.
So breaking
Same
the
here.
cycles, yeah, breaking the cycles are like it's healing your lineage, but it's very hard when you're the first one doing it, you know?
Yeah.
So that was the lesson, like not open up too quickly to people. Like now I don't tell anyone that my story unless it's someone trustworthy.
Yeah.
The second thing I
It's a
would
good
say,
lesson to bring forward,
yes, oh my God, you have no
knowing who you
idea.
let in.
The second lesson I learned is people respect you when you respect yourself. Literally,
Yes. Yes.
literally. Like, I was not respecting myself, and people were reflecting that. And
Yep.
now that
And
I have boundaries,
that's
literally,
so
like,
hard to like accept too as a person because you just want
yes,
to be
I
like, why
know.
won't they treat me right? And it's hard to know that you're not treating yourself right.
Yeah, exactly. Now I'm like, I'm so good at respecting myself. I'm scared of myself, It's like,
Yeah.
because I've been through so much, it's like a non-negotiable for me. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't care. You are gonna respect me. I don't care. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're not gonna betray me anymore. Like we've been betrayed by everyone in our life. Like
Mm-hmm.
if I can't count on you, like who am I gonna count on? You know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like when I do something and then I'm like, it's okay. I forgive myself, but the next time I don't let myself like make the same mistake, okay? Because you have to learn. You don't have time to waste learning the same lesson that
Mm-hmm.
takes years. You have things to do, you
It
have
could take
things to
lifetimes.
build. Yeah, like honestly, like I mean, I wasted a lot of lifetimes. I'm not gonna lie, but this one is like we don't have time. Uh, okay, like one last lesson for business, because
Mm-hmm.
that's the question mentions life and business.
Mm-hmm.
So in business, the biggest lesson I'm learning this year is honor the seasons in your business. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so in your
Mm.
business, yeah, there is seasons for making
Yes.
money, and there is seasons for rest, and there
Yes.
is seasons for connecting with people. Your business can't be like 12 months all about making money and selling readings, for example, for me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for example, now I'm in a season to connect and expand my business,
Mm-hmm.
creating connections
I
and
love that you're putting it that way because I think about my business. I'm like, why did I book you and I's thing so close to Christmas? I'm like, well, it doesn't feel like work. Like,
yeah,
it's
exactly.
connection. Like,
It's
I like that you're
connection.
saying that.
That's the
Mm-hmm.
season. Like just like trust, especially trust the rest season is the most important one. Like when you rest, when your business rests, it's when you can create and build behind the
Yes.
scenes. And this is when you can launch when the season of launching comes. And you have to be aware of these things. I see a lot of people, their business slows down, they freak out. I'm
Yeah.
doing something wrong. I'm not making money. No, it's just not the season. Especially
Yeah.
like for example, now there's a lot of people that are not online a lot, especially when your business is online. For example, for me,
Yeah.
I noticed a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people are busy with the holidays. They are with
Mm-hmm.
family, they are connecting, they are not into buying things, like services. They just want to have fun. It's holidays, you know?
Yeah.
So this is the perfect time for you to connect with these people, and maybe they like create like they're gonna be clients later, maybe in the new
Mm-hmm.
year or so. This is the biggest lesson for me. Like,
I love that.
yeah, like, well, I have astrology. It's really helpful to understand the seasons for me because I
Mm-hmm.
know what's happening in my astrological like birth chart right now. So
Mm-hmm.
I was able to know that this season, because there is an aspect or whatever, that this season is not for making money.
Yeah.
It's it's time to rest and take care of myself. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And because I know when this transit is going to end. So I am safe. I know, like in my body, I know it's going to end. But for someone that
Mm-hmm.
don't like doesn't know about astrology, they're going to spend this maybe 2 months of this aspect freaking out, uh,
Mm-hmm.
burning themselves out,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, like astrology helped me like in 6 months because I started my business in March and I started really having clients in June.
Mm.
So in
Yeah, that's
six
really
months,
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
So in 6 months, like I was able to create something that would have taken me maybe 2 years or something, thanks to
Mm-hmm.
astrological, like my astrological knowledge, because there is days for business, there is days, for example, you post something and you receive no feedback.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm really thankful to astrology. And yeah, I call it aligned intentions,
Yeah.
like, yeah, mapped with your astrological you know transits.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's beautiful.
yeah, the last, I would say, advice is raise your prices. Okay, I started like I started at 4 readings with $22, and
Oh,
then
wow.
yeah, I was new. I didn't know anything about business,
Yeah.
and and then when I raised my prices, I received more clients. I think
Mm-hmm.
the more
They want
you
that
you
energetic exchange
yeah,
that they
the
know
more
they're
you
investing.
exactly, the more you work on your self-worth, the more the
Mm-hmm.
universe is gonna reward you based on your prices. So make sure make sure
Make sure
your
they're
prices,
aligned. Yes.
yeah, I'm not saying like too expensive. I'm not saying like too low, like
Yeah.
in the middle, like for
Aligned.
everyone to,
For everyone, it's
yeah,
different. Yeah. I
yeah.
agree. Well, Octavia, thank you for letting us witness the real tender and powerful process of choosing yourself. In our
Thank
final
you.
episode next month, we'll explore the transformation, what has shifted, what you've reclaimed, and the wisdom you now hold for yourself and for those who are walking a similar path.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As we close out part 2 of Wellness Case Files with Octavia Sirius, I want to invite you to pause for a moment and notice what this conversation stirred inside of you. This is the middle of the journey, the part where things are changing, but the outcome isn't fully clear yet. And if you're in your own messy middle, know that you're not alone. Next month, we'll release part 3, the final chapter of Octavia's story. We'll explore what shifted, what's been reclaimed, and the wisdom that emerges on the other side of this journey. So make sure you're subscribed to the podcast and come back next month as we witness the transformation together. Until then, be gentle with yourself. Your story is still unfolding.